When Senator Grossman took office, although there does appear to be one in Senator Cadman's district. Ken Gordon loved his family, who graced us with their presence today. Thank you for sharing him with us. Ken was consumed by public service, and he knew that I was too. He didn't have a lot of faith in my ability to keep track of other activities, so he sent me an email last summer to fill me in. The first professional football game of the year, he wrote, is a week from Thursday. The Denver team, which is called the Broncos, is playing the Baltimore team called the Ravens. The Ravens beat the Broncos last year and went on to win the Super Bowl, or championship, he wrote. Our loss to them was caused by a last-second pass. This is what it is called when a player, usually the quarterback, throws the ball to another player. So when discussing this, he said it would be appropriate to look sad, but still defiant. He said the game is a home game, which means that it will be played at Sports Authority Field. Many true Bronco fans still call it Mile High Stadium, so you might want to use this nomenclature. Following the game, he said you should know the score and the 2 or 3 crucial plays. These are what are the episodic events of the game are called. During the football season, it is usually considered appropriate to start conversations with, "How about them Broncos?" And then he said, "I will keep you informed." Ken liked to have the last word in most of our conversations, and I want to offer him that honor today. A few weeks before he died, Ken sent me and a lot of you another email. The subject line read, "Shall not perish from the earth." This is, in part, what he wrote. Starvation, disease, and exposure killed nearly 2,500 American soldiers at Valley Forge during the winter of 1777 and 1778. At Omaha Beach during the Normandy landings in World War II, German soldiers manned machine guns in concrete bunkers that were nearly impervious to the weapons that the Americans had with them that day. Approximately 2,500 American soldiers were killed as they struggled to get from their landing craft to the beach. Democracy, Ken wrote, democracy, the sovereignty of the people, did not just materialize on the North American continent. It was created by people who knew the alternative and were willing to sacrifice for it. And yet, many Americans have not paid any price for our form of government. They don't know its value. Rome had a republic. Athens had a democracy. They were both lost. Ken said there is no guarantee that democracy will survive. The key point in implementation of democracy is the election. One would like to think that the people who are involved in that implementation, the candidates, the campaign staff, the pollsters and consultants, do so with a form of reverence for the sacrifices that have been made on our behalf. What would that look like? Well, Ken said campaigns would be honest. They would not try to portray their opponent as less deserving than she is. Campaigns would honor merit. They would not try to win an election solely by outspending the other side. Campaigns would be informative. They would proudly confront the issues of the day and clearly state their positions on these issues. So, are campaigns honest, reflective of a candidate's merit, and informative? Well, no. Of course they aren't. Then I suppose Ken said one needs to ask, does this matter? The answer, he said, is yes. And then he wrote, in fact, yes, in bolds and all capitals. Ken was a walking exclamation point. He said, democracy can tolerate some dishonesty, some submission to money, and some ignorance. But there is a limit, and we are at that limit. Democracy needs a critical mass of people who respect it and believe in it for it to survive. Ken said, this isn't someone else's job.
Senator Williams.